Hello, I'm Dan Toppy and welcome back to another brand new Fortnite video. Today I've got some huge shotgun changes to talk about with you. If you do play this game a lot, you definitely need to know about these because they really will impact on the way that you play the game and also how reliable your shotguns are. In the patch notes, Epic said, "For a while we felt that shotguns promoted healthy, close quarters gameplay. However, with the recent quick time changes, shotguns are being used more often than we like. It's something we've been keeping an eye on, but broadly speaking, we feel shotguns are a little too strong in their current state." So in this statement they basically talk about double pumping. They mention the recent equip time changes. If you didn't know they were put in, that was where you could change between weapons quicker. Double pumping was removed from the game quite a long time ago. They did this by increasing the equip time changes, so basically what this meant was when you change from one pump to another, it would take longer to get your weapon completely up. Now they've reduced that slightly, so now you can double pump a little bit, but it isn't completely back to how it was, but it still did have a massive impact on the game and it meant that you could get really quick shotgun kills really easily. So what Epic are trying to do with this update is basically just make the shotguns less powerful all around to bring more attention to the other weapons like the SMGs in the game. Shotguns are definitely the best close quarters weapon in the game, way better than all the SMGs just because of how likely they are to get those 1 or 2 hit kills. But with these updates, one of the things that they are trying to remove is those 1 hit kills. So with the pump action shotguns, the change they've actually made to them is the headshot multiplier has been reduced from 2.5 to 2. So what this means is that when you get a headshot, instead of multiplying whatever the base damage is by 2.5, it'll now only reduce it by 2. And as the damage for the blue and the green pumps has been reduced from 90 and 95 to 80 and 85, this means that when you're getting that 2 times multiplier for a headshot, if the player you're shooting at does have full 200 health, you can't one pump them. So there is some protection against one pumps now if you do have full shield. Obviously the equip times are still the same, so if you are really good at double pumping, you can still kill really quickly, but it is harder to do so as you don't have that really high headshot damage, so you won't be getting those random one-shot insta-kills anymore. These changes to the pump I really agree with, just because I thought those random one-shot deaths that you get from players that could just hit headshots really well were a bit stupid when you did have full 200 health. Now that you can't die from those insta-kills, you have a bit of time to react. If a player does jump up on you with a pump action shotgun, you do have a bit of time to react, a bit of time to defend yourself, so it isn't as random when you're dying from them. Now that they can't get those 2 pump headshots, landing 2 headshots one after another does take more skill, so if you can do that whilst double pumping, then because of the skill needed, you should be able to get that one really quick kill, just because it takes more skill than it did before when you got those random lucky headshots. Sometimes you get killed by a player with a blue pump who found it luckily, who got a really lucky shot off on you, and they're actually a terrible player and they really didn't deserve that kill. But now that it takes way more skill to be able to do it, it's definitely more skill based and it won't be as random as it used to be. For the tactical shotguns, all they changed was the headshot multiplier again, so they changed this in the same way as with the pumps. It now is a 2 times multiplier instead of a 2.5. This is something that I don't really agree with because I think they should have kept it the same. Because the tactical shotguns are so much weaker than the pumps, I think that you should get rewarded for getting those headshots more often. Because if you do hit headshot with it, you should be getting more damage just so you can counter those pump action players. Because most people run pumps if they can find them. So if you are choosing to run a tactical shotgun, I think you should have a little bit of a benefit if you are aiming for the head. With the tactical shotguns, they also added another comment. This said, shotgun consistency across the board is also something we're looking into and aim to improve. We want to make it more apparent when you hit or miss a shot. In addition to that, making sure the accuracy is more consistent and improving other odd behaviours with the weapon is a top priority. We've identified a number of issues that we're currently working on solving in the near future. So it sounds like they're wanting to improve those times where you take a shot and you think it's really good and it lands on the target, but it only actually does like 4 or 5 damage even though you thought it was a really good shot. It sounds like they wanted to improve that, so when you aren't going to do a lot of damage, you know, and it makes a lot more sense. Because sometimes you do die when you think you've been playing really well, but it just hasn't registered properly, or it hasn't connected properly with the player. This inconsistency is something that I really don't like about the shotguns, but as they change it in the future, hopefully it will come in pretty soon. But I think once they do improve the consistency of weapons, that will probably mean that players will start to use them even more. because even though they have reduced the damage, if your shots are becoming more consistent and you can land more shots well, then they're going to be even better, so we'll probably just see players start to use shotguns again even more, and the SMGs will die again. I'd actually like to see something done with the SMGs. They aren't very good, obviously they can't make them incredible, but I still don't think players would use them. I think they should just remove them altogether. Start focusing on a different type of close quarters weapon, maybe create a different class that they could add in, just to counter the shotguns, just to give something slightly different, because I think in a game like this, you want those one-shot kills when you're really close. You don't want to have to be trying to spray it onto a player, because it isn't easy to do, especially when they're building in front of you. So what they really need to do is add in a different class of weapons that can work alongside of the shotguns, not be completely different like the SMGs are, something that's just marginally different, just to add a little bit of variety into the game. But they have been the two huge shotgun changes added into the game. Like I said, if you didn't know about these, you'd really be missing out, because you need to know about this to know how your shotguns are going to work in game, and when and how you're going to be getting your kills. Later on today, I am going to be making a video talking about the changes to building, materials, resources, and also traps. They've changed the traps around, have actually reversed and improved them upon what they did last time, but I'll be covering all of that in a video later on. So make sure if you're new here, you're subscribing so you can see that. If you're already subscribed and you don't have them turned on already, make sure you're getting those notifications turned on so you know every single time I upload a video. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.